Maybe Stripe is preparing for something big and they need to attract some funds and to increase their capitalization. Who knows?
Hello, everyone. My name is Igor Tomych, and I'm CEO of DashDevs. And today, with Dumitru Condrea, we're going to do a new style of the podcast. It's going to be short news by Fridays. And today, we're going to discuss 3 topics. And let's welcome Dumitru. Hi, how are you?
Hello, Igor. Nice to see you again. I'm very good. I hope you're also very good. I'm very happy to see you here. And yes, today we will try a new format. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. And I will outline 3 topics that we're going to discuss today. The first one is actually it's pretty big in one way or another. And we had like a pretty elementary discussion with the Dumitru. Astonishing news: global payments to acquire the Worldpay for astonishing $24 billion. And that's a hot topic in one way, but another one, I don't think that a lot of people have a knowledge about Worldpay and what they do. So let's discuss it first. Is it a big number nowadays, taking into account all the things that are happening on the market, like IPO of Klarna and other IPOs this year?
Well, in fintech world is a big number, absolutely. We were making jokes with Igor before starting the recording this session that after capitalization of Fireblocks, this is not a big number. But anyways, Stripe had, I think, 40 millions and something. That's right. Yes, and 24 million right now. Billion. It's a huge number. Definitely, it shows that global payment will go specifically. We'll put an accent on e-commerce solution, on merchant commerce solution, and seems like we have. This is a new step in changing the change in our market we have already for 2 years, where big players start to buy each other, or medium players start to buy each other, and this is an absolutely normal thing on this market.
Yeah. It seems to be like the speed of growth in e-commerce and digital payments is still growing. And it kind of gives an ability to do the M&A in this area and to achieve new numbers. And it's pretty interesting maybe to outline, because the company has been founded by McManus, who is also running Clearbank in the United Kingdom. And Clearbank numbers are growing. So maybe that's a potential to focus on the Clearbank and focus on the banking rails, not just the digital part. So yeah, it's good.
If we touch the topic of Stripe, there is Stripe also purchased something. They purchased Bridge, I think 1.1 billion. Well, bigger number. It means Stripe is embracing stablecoins finally. So we'll have stablecoins on Stripe account. We will be able to, as merchants, as e-commerce platforms, to use them to collect these funds and assets from our customers. And I know friends I know some guys who are running some medium-sized businesses, e-commerce businesses, and they're using Stripe, and they're super happy about this because they were able to sell, their products using Stripe, sell for stable coins.
Okay. And actually, I've been discussing this topic last week in London, and I'm polling a lot of friends and connections. What do you think about that? And for me, it's pretty interesting because the particular case that Stripe is going to use is stablecoins, which is USDT. And as a company, they actually allowing a lot of merchants to have USD account. So what do you think, why it's important for them additionally to USD checkouts to add the stable coins and actually add this as a financial part? What is the difference there?
It's increasing number of transactions. It's increasing numbers of fees. Super simple. The market of USDT. I mean, people around the world are holding a big numbers of USDT, and now you're able to purchase something with USDT. I mean, via Stripe to the specific merchants. At least from my bishop, it seems like it's more like attracting new transaction, increasing the numbers of transactions, increasing numbers of assets, capitalization. Maybe Stripe is preparing for something big, and they need to attract some funds and to increase their capitalization. Who knows?
I maybe will add a little bit of the vector or another layer here. So for me, it sounds like we have USD. Usually the Stripe is tailoring the currency specifically for the country. So if you open, in European Union, you can have USD, but default currency is euro. And in my understanding, USDT is actually allowing the countries which doesn't have a good USD penetration and they're not allowed to do the operation in USD, it still gives an ability to operate with USDT. And my usual go-to question with the crypto, when it's the time when I can buy the cup of coffee with the USDT, and maybe it comes at least on the website, like, or in digital space in e-commerce, by having Stripe as usual checkout process, and the penetration is really good. That's maybe the time when actually we will be able to pay with USDT. So good news. And another thing that is bringing up, and we discussed this before recording the session, like the perception and adoption from regulators is different, because if the big companies like Stripe adopting USDT, the rules are becoming much more clear. And I think in the coming years, we will see the rise once again of the crypto story, so DeFi or Web3, as you call it, with all those mergers between and thin layer, and I would say not a gray layer anymore, between fiat and non-fiat story. So basically the Stripe, which is leading fiat company, is adopting DeFi, which is really, really good sign for the regulators, and we will see more things like that coming. Okay, that's really good. Yeah.
Waiting for European Central Bank to launch the European stable coin, which will be almost first digital currency. I mean, real digital centralized currency. But yeah, it can be a very, very interesting step.
And we didn't plan that, but what are your thoughts about European digital currency? Because I read the news that it's going to be killed, like that's a project that will not survive and will not work. What do you think about that?
I have mixed feelings currently, to be honest. I understand why government needs this. I mean, governments and the European Central Bank regulators, they need this. I'm not sure it will be very much with enthusiasm. People will not accept this with enthusiasm. But yeah, let's see what will happen with this, because I'm not sure. I honestly have very, very mixed feelings on this topic.
Yeah, and in this case, we have on the Fintech Garden podcast, we have episode with the Johnny Fry, and we dive deep into digital currencies and the potential adoption in United Kingdom. It's pretty good. We went quite a deep in the history, comparing peso to dollars minting with the gold. So I really recommend maybe to watch to see what is the difference and potential overview and the timelines for adopting digital currencies by the central banks. And maybe the last for today, but the last but not the least, the topic is astonishing news from Revolut. They actually establishing an European headquarter in Paris and investing $1 billion. And once again, we like pre-chatted what everyone is thinking about that. Like, why Paris? They have licenses in different regions. What do you think? Why they doing that?
I think it's a mix of responses. First, shows that Revolut will the next years of Revolut will be conquering Western Europe, because in Eastern Europe they're doing very, very well. So Western Europe is in the accent right now. Paris is, by the way, it's very easy accessible location from different Western capitals or cities. It's a very good location. I mean, geographically, it's a good location. France is have the biggest adoption rate in Revolut. So today they have 5 million users. They had 1.6 million users last year. So it's a 3.4 million increase. It's a huge number. Next, possibly there is a, I mean, by sure, but okay, in this case we don't know 100%. By sure there are possibly there are some political motivation here, and I think because they want to penetrate French market, they unfortunately they need some additional license. They need to show to the government, French government, a commitment, because passportizing is one thing, but if you want to dive deep into French market and Western world is a very big, and Western Europe is a very big market, they need a commitment. And this is more like a commitment for showing that they want to take it super seriously.
Okay, maybe let's call it a marriage with the France, because in this case you can be participatized with the other licenses in the European Union that they have, but it feels differs, and it shows that it's long term. It's going to be big in terms of the I think development efforts, because another thing is to have resources in different locations and maybe mitigating the risk on the east side, taking into account all the events that are happening. That's maybe a good location to scale and grow. Okay, that's maybe you have something to add.
No, we have to understand that this move to France will not have a big impact, direct impact on French economy. They'll hire around 200 people only. Well, it's good. It's a very good sign, but it's not like when it's not equivalent when Renault is opening a new factory plant somewhere in Morocco or I don't know in South America. It's totally different, but it's a sign that France is also embracing the technology, is embracing trends. They have a big market and with a big capacities of growing, and I think Revolut did this mostly because they see a great potential in France. It was a surprise for all of us. So when you speak about fintech capital, fintech cities in Europe, London, Berlin, yes, France, Paris was all the time somewhere at the end of it. Now it changed.
Okay. And we actually have clients who also open in development offices in Paris. So it's sometimes it may be feel to add as a door from North Africa, because the penetration from this region is much better into the France culture, and it's potentially opening the doors to those countries, let's say like that. So it's great. Let's see an overview what is happening. We did like our time for this episode, and in this case, I would like to welcome to listen to our next episode next Friday. So thank you for joining and listening us today.
Yeah, wish you a nice weekend and next week to be better than this. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.